Yes, that's right. I'm starting early. I scheduled my stream and I started early. All right, so hello, everybody. This is Peter Palmiotti of Humanoid Studios, and I am working on a retro. Um, let's see. Oh, I got something in the mail today. Let's see. William Gibson pattern recognition. Um, Yeah, I got this off Amazon. Since I intend to read more as one of my daily goals, um, decided to pick up a new. Well, it's not brand new, but a novel I haven't read yet. Um, Even though I have plenty to read here already. Um, but I have in the past picked up hardcovers, and is this the right one? Yeah. So yeah, I picked that up. I ordered it, and it came in the mail. All right, so I'm just trying to get into a rhythm. Rhythm. So what's what's going on, everybody? Um, the title of this episode is short. You don't feel like doing it until you are doing it. Um, and that is so true. I find that a lot of times to be so true. Um, really, the way to get into working is to just start doing it. And, you know, I, I'm sure you felt that yourself, that you are having a hard time sometimes of just getting back into your flow. Um, and the best way is to push out mentally all the nonsense and just do it. Nike says. Um, I wouldn't say I was having a rough day today, but just a little hotter to get into the swing of things today. And you can probably tell I'm a little tired. I want to thank Jeff Lafferty for having me on his ARTCAST last night. It's definitely one of the reasons why I'm a little tired. Um, but being tired is okay. You're not always going to be, maximum energy, just enough energy to get the job done. Um, but yeah, had a really good time on Jeff Lafferty's show last night. It's funny, his his introduction of me. We've been friends for a long time, and I've been on um, his shows, and he's been on mine. And years ago we started the ARTCASTERS together. And it's always good to reconnect and gab about comics and art and the industry of comics and what the heck's going on. And um, he's such a proponent now of people just getting to work and um, working on their own creations. And I was essentially getting into a bit of you know I've had success. I've worked from all on DC, Valiant Comics. I had a few things published by Image that I worked on. Um, and I'm working for a lot of individuals lately, a lot of small self-publishers mostly. The problem with that is that things don't always go as planned. It is what it is, but so I was just mentioned sort of like, I'd probably be better off just working on my own stuff, which is why I really want to push myself to work on retro, get this done. I got other things, jump on afterwards. Um, but, retro going forward, it will be my main focus. And just really think I can do best for myself by doing just that. So we shall see. Um, as I mentioned, I want to sort of just make a plan to do a number of daily habits, work out, do some reading, work on my comic. Eventually, I'm going to be adding to it, which is work on my own art. Post online stuff I have for sale. I gotta get better at selling my own artwork. If you've seen, you may not have seen, but I did a piece with artist creator Scott Story, and I was asking him the other day, hey, you want to sell the original art to that piece? And he's like, yes. But I think he's leaving it up to me. It's just, why does everybody do that? I suck at selling artwork. And yet, do a collaboration. Everybody wants me to sell it, which is like, thanks for the work. No, it's a gorgeous piece. I want to get a good amount of money for it, so we'll have to see if he agrees with the price I set, or if he wants to set it at a different price before I post about it. But if you've seen it, it's a really nice piece. It's worth its weight in gold. So I'll post that up. And I got a bunch of just old drawings. that I'll put up and see if people want them. I didn't do anything today in that regards. Yeah, to mention, like, so I was on Jeff's show last night. I did my 45 minutes of an episode yesterday, which is me getting back into the groove of doing this, and I want to do this daily. So that was good. And then now it's him and Gibran, and they're going to have various guests on. There's a number of people that want to come on and talk about things and hang out with Jeff and Gibran. So I think technically we started around. I know I'm spinning the artwork and like working on random stuff. Part of that is that I'm not working on a wet spot. um, so yeah, we started around 1, went to about 3, and then we talked afterwards for a little bit. As soon as we stopped the show, I definitely felt, I was definitely done working at that point. But as we talked, Gibran and Jeff were still working. I'm pretty sure they still worked and talked after I finished chatting with them. But we talked for a while, maybe another half hour, maybe another longer than that. But even better than catching up on air is catching up off air. And so we talked for a while longer, and then I was done, but not done in the sense of hey Frank, evening. Let's see. Was that on purpose? You paused after saying it's hard getting into a flow. Uh, yeah, I mean, I'm feeling the effects of a long day yesterday. Then I had some random stuff to do today. I went and did some shopping. Talked to a friend of mine. Had dinner. And it seems like they ran away from me. And I'm starting this a lot later than I wanted to. And yeah, so I'm kind of just tired. But yeah, so me, Jeff, and Gibran talked for a while. We finished up. But then I couldn't go to sleep. So I sort of just putzed around. And before I knew it, I think it was like 5 o'clock. Fell asleep at that point, but I only slept for 2.5 hours. So my sleep pattern is definitely all over the place right now. But that's not necessarily because of yesterday alone. My sleeping habits have become a little terrible. So I really have to put myself on a better schedule. I'm up when I'm up and I'm sleeping when I'm sleeping lately, which is not conducive to a good lifestyle. But yeah, just feeling a little pressure from various things. Like I reconnected with my friend, sort of have this long distance thing going on. It may be something, it may not be. It's it's definitely not the easiest time to do something like this. But we talked for a while today. It was good to connect, and she had to go. Another friend of hers was waiting on her, so we'll talk more tomorrow. So we'll see where that goes. I know I got to get into continuing my cleaning spree of the studio, which is I have a stack of stuff to go through currently in my bedroom, and stuff I have to find, paperwork, so I could take care of some other paperwork. So yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's like I've worked for some major companies, and Valiant was another one of them. Though it wasn't an anchor per se, it was a inking assistant. um, so I know, like, have experience with. Okay, so the work is here, and you just got to do it and get it done, and whatever it takes, however long it takes, because I am a perfectionist. I'm not saying that I'm the most talented guy out there, but um, I do fuss over the details of what I'm working on to get it to what I want it to be. Like this page, I've sort of randomly been working on it for a while, and I can't tell you, like, it depends how much time I put into it going forward. Um, I'm never good at, like, saying, oh, I'll be done by Friday or whatever. Usually my predictions suck. Um, the, the saying goes is like, whatever you think it's going to take is like, it's going to take much longer than that. And I essentially don't try not to put sort of a deadline on it for myself, because then I start stressing, like, oh, gotta get it done, gotta get it done. I don't want to rush through it. I mean, to me, the opportunity to work on my own project is I really want to put my best foot forward as far as the quality of what I'm doing, more so than even the work I've done for Marvel and DC and whatnot. And I never, I would push myself to get stuff done, but I wouldn't rush through it to the point of affecting the quality of it. So I'm kind of like, as I'm working on this, I'm kind of imagining, I really already mentioned I got a new colorist for the book, or at least for the first issue. I don't know if he's committing to the whole run, but for the first issue, Marshall Lee is going to be coloring it. If you don't know Marshall Lee, he's on YouTube, he's on Instagram, he's on Facebook, goes by Donkey Jaw Projects, and he's a talented fellow. He's doing pretty good on the YouTubes. He's definitely gone up in the ranks. And he does mini comics, and he's got plans to do Glyph, his own character, as a graphic novel. What was that? He did a story in Lone Wolf, I think it was, not too long ago. I believe for Doug Garrett. Had a collection of people. What do I want to do? So the reason I mentioned him is that I'm imagining, as I'm working on this now, that he's going to be coloring it, and very, very simple, straightforward style, coloring wise, much like the comics of my youth. Like the 80s, 90s, well, more 80s comics. So, it's never like, as far as I'm concerned, like the pencils should be the pencils. Well, the artwork should stand on its own in black and white form. And then the colors should enhance that without drowning it out. I'm picky when it comes to comics that are colored. It's not an easy line to stand on. Boom, boom, boom. Lots of little tiny figures on this. This page. And I really want to tackle the building stuff and even the desks and whatnot. Last time I picked up my repairograph, it started bleeding. which either is an indication of, hey, I need to be cleaned, or hey, I need to be changed, which is, I have ink cartridges for my repeater grass. So that's just a chore I avoid at the moment. As long as there's other things I can be working on the page. But I do love backgrounds. Working on backgrounds. Something very pleasurable about just, doing buildings and doing any kind of backgrounds. Just making sure they're tight and expressive and clear and what's going on? Oh, okay. And that's it. And that's right. So most of these tiny figures, you're not even gonna. It's more of a feeling of what's going on than really looking at exactly what's going on. All right. Yeah, that's right. Okay. And yeah, a lot of what is left is the technical stuff. That's okay. I wish I had a better setup where you could see clear of what I'm working on, but without. Right now, this is the best sort of angle for me to show you without it getting in my way of getting the work done. So I hope it's okay. Like I mentioned, this is kind of like my new standard at the moment of me doing streams, and it's kind of like, well, hopefully, like you're working on your comic and you're just listening to me, with whatever I'm gabbing about, and be an easier way to get through your workday a little bit. There's definitely been plenty of times when I was working quiet in my studio, and I would turn on an art video from this person or that person and just lose myself in what they were talking about. And get a lot more done. Boom, 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 boom. So hopefully that's the result you were getting thus far. um, I'll do a little infomercial that isn't at the end of the video. But if you're watching this and you like it, then give it a like. If you like my work, want to support me in my endeavors, then become a patron. The link is in the video description. If you aren't subscribed, then you can subscribe. Definitely appreciate everyone. I mean, heck, if all you do is show up, that's awesome too. So the penciler on this, at least you'd be confused and think it's my pencils. It's not. It's Rich Fuchsia. Rich Fuchsia is on Instagram. As a matter of fact, I thought he wasn't. A while back, I thought he wasn't doing that much online, because he shifted sort of his career path a bit. And when I knew him back when, I worked with him on Razor, Everett Hartso's creation back in the 90s. Rich is currently painting, and he's painting portraits. He's painting just a bunch of awesome stuff. And if you type in Rich Fuchsia, he'll come up. But his Instagram name is, I think it's Strategies and Blueprints. Don't ask me why. I should ask him one day. But that's his Instagram name. But if you type in people's names, then whatever their Instagram name is, they still come up. It's only hard when it's a super popular name that millions of people have the same name. But Rich Fuchsia is a little original, much like Peter Palmiotti. As far as I know, I'm one of two on the face of the earth. Even though I seem to come across more Palmiottis as I randomly look over the internet. So yeah, back to the title. It's definitely like, you never actually feel like doing something until you're doing it, and part of that is that feeling only comes from doing. It's like, if you ever ran across kids, I'm bored. It's like, because you're not doing anything. If you were doing something, then you wouldn't be bored. I know in a lot of cases, you're bored, well, go out and go ride your bike, go see if your friends are around and play with your friends. Or I don't have kids, but I've definitely have friends who have kids, and I've definitely looked after kids for others in my lifetime. Yeah, I used to go upstate in the summers. I babysat a couple of times, even when I was younger. Boom, boom, boom. Ba-da, boom, 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 boom. So yeah, I mean, if you don't feel like doing something, but you want to get some work done, then you give yourself a break and just you know go through the motions. And if you do it for 10 minutes, if you do it for a half hour, you know, you'll you'll be okay. It's not as monumental as it seems sometimes. You know. We have more people watching. Hey, everybody. There you go. Salazar says, I'm getting ready for tonight's stream with Jeff. Setting up, I'm showing myself drawing instead of staring at the camera and looking on. Cool. Awesome. Let's see. Does that work? Yeah, there you go. There was his comment. Good luck. Are you going to be on a show tonight? That'd be awesome. And sketch therapy. Hey, welcome, welcome. I usually work, but I've been subscribed for a very long time. You probably didn't remember last time I spoke here. I don't think I've been getting alerts though. Yeah, well, it has been a little while since I've been um, uploading videos or streaming on a regular basis. But I'm trying to change that again, get back into it. Took a bit of a break. But thanks. Hey, thanks for lurking. Um, every little bit helps, as they say. Um, yeah, I plan to post a lot more regularly. Stream if possible. I think, in the end, streaming is easier than making a video and uploading a video and going through all that jazz. Trying to keep things simpler. In that way, because then that means I'll do this more often. If it seems like less of a hurdle. So wish me luck. I do have a show tomorrow night, so I hope to do a stream earlier. What is it? Okay. We'll see how it goes. So I have a show tomorrow night, and I put the link in yesterday's episode. I'll put the link in this episode after I end it. Hopefully I won't forget. But I'm reconnecting with my old friend from New York, Mark Torres. He used to do a show out. I'm originally from New York, and it's actually, for the how many years I lived out in Staten Island for I guess the last batch of years I was living in New York. He hooked up with a radio station and hosted a show called The Comic Book Novice, which I was one of the co-hosts. It was me, I think a Puerto Rican girl, Belkis. There was Todd and Hassan and Jennifer, who was Mark's girlfriend at the time. And I think mostly it was all of us. Sometimes somebody couldn't make it, but I was I was like the industry insider and entertainment news guy, which it was kind of funny. But it was a lot of fun. It's a real radio station, and it was an Asian station, and we were the only non-Asian people on it, I believe. It was kind of like, hey, if you pay for a spot, you can do whatever you want. So that's what Mark did, and we, the rest of us benefited from it, in the sense that we got to do this, and it was a lot of fun. I'm from New York, so I don't drive, and I had to take multiple transportation out to get to the outskirts of Long Island. So it took me like 2.5 hours just to get out there, or some crazy amount. But then Mark would drive me home because it was a little bit kind of on his way to a degree. It definitely took a lot less time coming back home. But then we would talk about the show and whatnot. What do you think of tonight's show? It was fun. I think I was going somewhere with that, but well, I guess in the theme of tonight's title for the episode, it's like it was daunting to think of. Okay, I'm going to be traveling all of this time to get to a show that's only a half hour long. I think later on, towards the end of our run of doing the show, we actually were on longer, but it was a half hour for the most part. And it was like all during the day, I would be thinking, oh, I'm going to have to travel out there, and it's going to be busy. Just mobs of people. Travel on this train, travel to that train. And I'd be traveling alone. I think only on a few occasions I would run into Belkis, who, like at the halfway point when I was actually in the city going out to Long Island. I ran into her a few times, and that was always a trip. Belkis she's freaking hilarious and pretty much a goddess. Goddess in personality as well as beauty. Sarah was always fun. It was easy to make her laugh. I tend to like to get people to laugh. But yeah, it's like, so sometimes you got to shut off your brain and just get started. Because I know, like, if I think about something too long in a negative, then I'm not doing myself any favors. Like, oh, it's going to be so much work, and, oh, I'm already exhausted, and yada, yada, yada. It could all be true, and I'm not saying, like, lie to yourself, but just don't think about it. Distract yourself. That's all it is. Like, get started. Um, think about something else. Focus on your work, but you can also be sort of tricking your mind. All it takes is a little bit. Once you get started, you can get into a rhythm. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, let's see what we got. Hey, Vance. Okay, cool. So Frank, aka Salazar Art Nation, Jeff is sending me a link before he goes live. And Sketch Therapy says, I could put it on the screen. Even God took a day off. Everyone needs a vacation once in a while, for sure. And Van said, gotta get up early. Lady, y'all. Thanks for hanging out and showing up. And thanks everyone for coming to watch what I got going on. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of this that's left is mostly technical. All right, so let's see. This is, where am I? Okay. I'm like, just to see my screen, I have to look over my shoulder, so it's kind of majorly awkward, but it's the best setup as far as being productive for me. So bear with me on that fact. But so this is done. I might tweak a couple of things. I got some pretty much straight lines. Then, usually what I do is I ink the page, and then I erase the page. Then I look it over to see if there are any gaps in what I've done. So then I got that mostly done. I got to do a couple of wires, but I could use a template and do them clean. Then I got this panel. Yes, there's a couple of figures on it, but it's mostly a lot of straight line work. I want to keep clean, so I'll use my ruler or a triangle to get the straight line work. There's a couple of flags there, but it's a lot of just straight line work. It looks busy as heck, but it's not as bad as it seems. So I'll do all of that and get that done. So actually, you know, I could have this page finished tomorrow. That I was saying earlier, oh, I'll get this done by Thursday. I mean, heck. Well, I mean, tomorrow is Thursday, so I was accurate. Okay. Which means I gotta get my garbage out tonight. I'm not crazy. I'm not insane. No, wait, no. Today's Tuesday, right? Geez, I'm losing track of days. That's when you know you don't not getting enough sleep. No, today's Wednesday. Okay, garbage goes out tonight. Um, so it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, yeah. I could have this finished tomorrow. Like I said, I really like to look the page over, see where I could tighten it up, see where I can make things cleaner. There's a couple of feathery lines. I might decide on brush for that. Rather than quill, I might thicken up some lines. I might do some fancy feathering, but I think it's all pretty straightforward. Then I could finally be on to page 9. So I think for tonight, that will be that. If you really want to be my friend, then share this video out with your friends. I plan to do this daily. Just me gabbing along. Sometimes I'll drop some real tips. Mostly I'll be keeping you up to date on how things are going for me. We could all learn from each other, that's for sure. I want to encourage you to work on your projects and your art. Yeah, it's already past 12 and past the 50-minute mark. Thank you all for coming. Like I said, like the video. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. And I'll be around again tomorrow. I'm going to try midday. So maybe just after lunch. If my day isn't too busy. This way I can maybe see if there's a whole different crowd of people who haven't been watching hang out around that point. I noticed a lot of people working at home, working from home, so we can all hang out together and work together. All right, be well. Talk to you again soon. Thanks again. Take care, everyone. It's still Tuesday for me. I just saw that. So yeah. Yeah, me too. It's not tomorrow until I wake up. All right. Take care. Bye.